The movie starts with a woman named Charlotte undergoing a mental therapy session. Charlotte suffers from neurosis, a condition where she can't handle neglect, boredom, and loneliness. For those who don't know, neurosis is an ongoing inner conflict caused by an individual's inability to adapt to their environment. This condition can trigger excessive anxiety, obsessive-compulsive behavior, and other personality disorders. During the therapy session, the therapist suggests that Charlotte close her eyes and imagine happiness with her mother. However, Charlotte's face suddenly looks sad because she can't imagine anything she desires. Shortly after, Charlotte attends her friend Marta's wedding with her husband, Marco. In that moment, Charlotte delivers a thank you letter to the couple for being an important part of her life. Charlotte also expresses gratitude to Marta's younger brother, who is also Charlotte's boyfriend, for accepting her as part of their family. This moment is met with surprise and emotion by Marta, who didn't expect her friend to be so kind. At the party, Marco gives his wife a necklace that has been passed down through his family. This makes Charlotte happy, but also envious of her friend. The party continues joyously, with guests and the bride dancing together. Before joining the guests, Charlotte is fixated on the gift table, visibly desiring the beautiful necklace. The next day, Charlotte takes her boyfriend, Dag, to the train station as he returns to the city where he works. Charlotte's days pass by boringly until a man who seems unhappy with her suddenly appears. It turns out that the man is Henrik, Charlotte's stepbrother, whom she hasn't seen in a long time. Charlotte then discusses this issue with Marta, who visits her at that moment. However, Charlotte's face once again looks sad. Knowing her friend's mental condition, Marta tries to change the topic with a joke, saying that her dance outfit is so tight that it doesn't allow her to have a baby because her uterus is always compressed. They spend the day dancing and joking together. The next day, Charlotte goes to the hospital to visit her father, who is in a coma due to excessive alcohol consumption causing liver cirrhosis. Her mother, Anna, is also there. Anna tells Charlotte that her literature thesis received an A grade and praise from a highly critical counselor. Anna is currently pursuing a master's degree in education and needs to leave soon, so Charlotte has to accompany her father. However, suddenly, her father's condition worsens. He gasps for breath and asks about Anna's whereabouts. Charlotte calms him down by saying that Anna will be back soon. After her father calms down, Charlotte can only reflect and cry over his lonely, desperate, and isolated state from the outside world. Perhaps this is Charlotte's perspective, influenced by the neurosis she experiences. A few days later, Charlotte visits a house and is welcomed by a woman named Eileen. Henrik, her stepbrother, is also present and doesn't seem happy about Charlotte's arrival. It turns out that Eileen is Henrik's wife and already knows that Charlotte is his stepsister. Eileen invites Charlotte inside and shows her around the house. When they talk about Anna, it becomes apparent that Eileen is very enthusiastic about discussing her mother-in-law. The atmosphere becomes tense when Charlotte asks Henrik about the reason for Anna's separation from her husband. Eileen then explains that it was Anna who left her husband and children, while Charlotte's understanding is that they separated because Henrik's father was at fault. When the atmosphere becomes tense, Henrik informs his wife that he needs to leave for the office. Eileen suggests that Henrik should invite Anna for a drink and join them afterward. Eileen's intention here is for the two siblings, Charlotte and Henrik, to reconcile, as they have just reunited after a long time. However, it seems that Eileen's decision is misguided. Eileen is unaware that Charlotte is dealing with some mental health issues that might complicate the relationship between the two siblings. Charlotte is seen waiting for Henrik, who is working. After finishing his work, Henrik tells Charlotte that he can't go for a drink with her that evening. Charlotte accepts this reality with sadness. Feeling guilty, Henrik finally invites Charlotte to join a group of people who are planning to have an afterparty. Henrik chats with them and states that he and Charlotte are tourists in the city and want to join in on their afterparty celebration. However, the event turns out to be boring. Henrik instructs his stepsister to pretend to be drunk and slam her head on the table so they can leave. After successfully leaving, the two siblings laugh together, relieving the awkwardness between them. They then continue to drink at a bar while getting to know each other. In their conversation, Charlotte asks if Henrik has ever seen their father. Henrik answers that he only knows their mother but has never met their father because he was abandoned when they were children. Charlotte then takes Henrik to the hospital, where their father is being treated. When they arrive, the ailing man is asleep. Shortly after, the siblings enjoy a midnight snack with great delight. However, the situation changes when Henrik gazes at Charlotte's beauty, triggering deep emotions in both of them. The moment is interrupted when Henrik's son wakes up and calls for his father. Startled by the incident, Charlotte realizes the folly of her thoughts. A few days later, Charlotte is surprised by Henrik's presence in her apartment. As if they share the same feelings, without much talking, they begin to engage in a more exciting game. At the hospital, Anna receives news from a nurse and asks who was with Charlotte when they came. Charlotte honestly answers that it was Henrik, her older brother. Anna pauses for a moment before stating that Charlotte should no longer have any dealings with Henrik. However, Charlotte disregards her mother's warning. The next day, Charlotte and Henrik have lunch together at a restaurant, pretending to be newlyweds. In that moment, Charlotte takes out the necklace she stole from her friend Marta's wedding and asks Henrik to pretend that the necklace is a gift from him. They spend the whole day together and stay in a hotel. At the hotel swimming pool, Henrik reveals that he knows Charlotte and their mother live in Norway and feels jealous of their happy lives there. This awkward conversation eventually leads to a very serious discussion. After the trip, Charlotte receives a call from her mother, asking her to come to the hospital immediately. Upon arrival, Charlotte learns that their father has passed away. Charlotte remains silent, lost in her own world. Charlotte then visits Henrik at his office and tells him that their father has passed away. Henrik tries to comfort Charlotte. The next morning, Anna and Marta visit Charlotte's apartment to plan their father's funeral. Marta also informs Charlotte that Dag, Charlotte's boyfriend, will be coming back to accompany her. However, Charlotte rejects Marta's suggestion, as she feels it is pointless. There seems to be some issue between Anna and Henrik, as every time Charlotte talks about Henrik, Anna's facial expression changes and Anna leaves Charlotte's room immediately. After the funeral process is over, Charlotte sits alone in the bathroom. Marta then comes in and asks about Charlotte's relationship with her brother. Not wanting to discuss it, Charlotte gets up from her seat, revealing that she is wearing Marta's wedding necklace. Charlotte cries and apologizes. Marta, not wanting their friendship to be ruined, forgives her and takes back her necklace before leaving Charlotte alone. A few days later, Anna visits Charlotte at the place where Charlotte is practicing dance. Anna asks Charlotte if Anna can meet Henrik. However, Charlotte feels offended because her mother only thinks about her own desires without considering Henrik's feelings, who is also her child. Anna cries and tells Charlotte that when Anna was young, she already had a child, Henrik, and had to leave him, even though it was painful. Now, Anna regrets it and asks for a chance to meet Henrik to redeem her past mistakes. Finally, the long-awaited moment arrives. Henrik, along with his son, accompanied by Charlotte, visits their mother's residence. Although it starts off awkwardly, the presence of Henrik's child lightens the atmosphere, and they begin to feel a true sense of family togetherness. Henrik and his son stay overnight at Charlotte's apartment. After his son falls asleep, Henrik walks toward Charlotte. The following night, Charlotte gathers the courage to visit Marta, who is trying to act as if everything is normal. They discuss Marta's pregnancy, which Charlotte thinks is too early, and Marta can't imagine herself becoming a mother. Charlotte offers to be the godmother of the child. Offended by the offer, Marta snaps at Charlotte, unable to tolerate Charlotte's increasingly strange behavior. Perhaps Charlotte's condition has worsened since her encounter with Henrik, causing her thoughts to become more irrational. The next day, Charlotte is surprised by Dag's arrival at her apartment, and he is chatting with Henrik. Charlotte acts happy to see Dag visiting her. The three of them spent the night drinking. When Dag is about to leave, Charlotte tells him that Henrik has been sleeping in her apartment since going through the divorce trial and assures him that everything will be fine. However, when they finish showering, Henrik's attitude changes. It turns out Henrik feels jealous because Charlotte hasn't broken up with her boyfriend yet. Henrik hits Charlotte when she apologizes for the harsh words she said, which escalates their argument. Strangely, the argument ends with a very exciting game. As the saying goes, the truth will be revealed soon, whether tomorrow or the day after. And indeed, when Dag stays at his girlfriend's apartment, he finds Charlotte's phone, which she used to contact Henrik. Inside, there are inappropriate words that should not be said to a sibling. Unable to defend herself, Charlotte tries to grab the phone, accidentally injuring herself in the process. Dag apologizes and begs Charlotte to tell the honest truth. However, the woman can only cry and say, "I'm sorry," which causes Dag to leave, ending yet another of the few relationships that made Charlotte lose everyone she loved. Charlotte makes the decision to move away from that city, hoping to bury all the bitter memories within it. Months and years pass. Charlotte is now a student who has finally found new friends and can laugh again. On her way home, Charlotte meets Marta, her former best friend. It is apparent that Marta now has an adorable little baby named Pedro. With an awkward feeling, they start chatting until the next station separates them. In this new city, Charlotte lives with her new mother and father. Hopefully, Charlotte's life this time is happier. Thank you for watching this video. See you again in the next video.